Men do not understand what has suddenly changed. If you explain to them changes that are happening, men do understand.
What kind of change does the sex life undergo when you're pre-menopausing or in your menopause?
There are a lot of changes which happens in the urogenital system, especially the vaginal epithelium.
What is the first thing you notice in women who come to you with or for menopause?
The first thing I notice is ignorance. 3 to 5 years before you are actually going to have your menopause, your hormone starts declining.
So Dr. Cecil, what is the first thing you notice in women who come to you with or for menopause?
The first thing I notice is ignorance. Most women don't know what menopause is.
Okay.
Once you stop having your periods for 1 year is when your menopause starts, and you are in your menopause period till you live.
Oh.
The time leading up to this, where you start having symptoms of hormonal imbalance, is called perimenopause. The worst thing about menopause in women is not knowing, or when seeking help, not listening, and no one is talking about it.
You are correct, because I didn't know that I am not in menopause yet. I mean, that's crazy. I just didn't know it. You're right, we don't seek help. So doctor, what is perimenopause? And what are the symptoms that I am actually perimenopausing? And is there a way I can find out? Is there a blood test?
So 3 to 5 years before you are actually going to have your menopause, your hormone starts declining, and they lead to a variety of cocktail of symptoms. The severity and a particular symptom is different for each woman.
Okay.
Common are having irregular periods, having some hot flashes, having sleep issues, mood swings, and psychological sensitivity. There is no blood test to tell you whether you are in perimenopause, because the blood test comes into effect once you are already into menopause. But the normal age of menopause is around 42 to 50, and women can have perimenopause a few years before they actually do have menopause.
Oh my God. So this TSH level and all that we...
FSH.
FSH.
FSH level rises only once your menopause is set. You can have perimenopause for 5 years, or FSH is normal completely. 3 months before your menopause, your FSH can be normal.
So I've been testing myself every year for FSH and just paying to the laboratory.
So I don't recommend. My patient comes and I want hormonal test. I said, okay, you tell me what you want. According to me, there's nothing you can do. A thyroid and all those basic tests, fine. FSH will rise only once your ovary stops working. And your FSH today might be normal. You can still have menopause in 2 months. And you might not have menopause for 2 years.
Wow. So how is the sex life, like what kind of change does the sex life undergo when you're pre-menopausing or in your menopause?
So there are a lot of changes which happens in the urogenital system, especially the vaginal epithelium. It stops having enough of estrogen, and post-menopause it has no estrogen. That makes it dry, that makes it itchy, that makes it fragile, and that makes it slightly more prone to injury. All of this leads to painful intercourse. A painful intercourse will lead to decreased libido, and that starts having issues with your sex life. Also, your decreasing hormones has an effect on your sex life in terms of having decreased libido.
So the interesting thing, doctor, is it's not that really first your libido goes down, but actually it is that experience is not that great and you don't want to do it.
Yes, yes. And that it's a vicious cycle. And the only place where you can break it is like take care of the vaginal dryness. HRT is of course one option. It comes with its old benefit and risk. So the best way to address it is address vaginal dryness and counseling between the couple.
So doctor, you are recommending couple counseling for a man also, but this vaginal dryness is in women. So how would a couple counseling work?
So basically men do not understand what has suddenly changed. So if you explain to them anatomically and physiologically the changes that are happening, and these are the changes which are leading to the sexual problems, men do understand. You also advise them alternatives, trying to use lubricants and trying to make it work. And it definitely helps. Otherwise, if you only counsel one partner, the other partner goes on thinking there is some major issue happening only in my life.
So, Dr. Cecil, like a lot of my friends and people I know who are menopausing or perimenopausing speak about depression. Is that something also clinically connected to menopausing?
Menopause is connected to a vast range of psychological disturbances, which comes from sensitivity, feeling like crying without any reason, feeling unwanted, and if it's severe, of course, depression. The changes in the hormones definitely contribute toward that, but the age at which women get menopause, you know, people around whom she has focused her life till now do not need her as much as they do. On top of that, she's undergoing a lot of physical changes, so she feels unwanted, unloved, and that is what leads to these psychological issues.
So, Dr. Cecil, women normally feel unwanted or depressed or just very put off with life. So, what would you recommend for women who are going through these symptoms?
So, to women, I would say after a lifetime of caring for others, menopause is the time you have to make room for yourself.
Okay.
Find a hobby, start doing things that you had sacrificed because you were a mom, a wife, a career woman. Make great set of girlfriends, only those who elevate your mood, not energy takers, only energy givers. And of course, good diet, supplements which contain natural estrogen like soya. Exercise is the gold standard for all problems menopausal.
Thank you. You spoke about estrogen because it really drops. So, what are the other sources of estrogen?
So, estrogen is present in small amounts in the nature, in nuts. But the best estrogen that we get in a natural form is soya derivatives. Soya as a grain, some women find it difficult to digest. So, they can opt for soya milk, which is little easier to digest, and the key to having soya is have it before afternoon, so it will not cause gastric disturbances. So that way you can have external estrogen without having the side effects.
So, Dr. Cecil, hot flashes, what about that? How do we manage that?
So I just tell women that once you turn 40, some women become more hot, and that's how you should approach hot flashes. Because of the changes in your hormones, there is this intense period of hot flash that you get, after which there is a lot of perspiration because there is vasodilatation of the vessels, and that is why women start feeling cold. Now, this is a passing phase which happens in the initial 2 to 5 years of your menopause, which usually decreases in most women, and hot flashes can be tackled with layered clothes, layered blankets, and carrying an extra pair of clothes if you are in an important event, a really absorbent tissues, and exercise every day in the morning.
Okay, so exercise is
Absolutely.
must, yeah.
And I to see that, like women, even for myself, suppose if I've had a wedding and I've not exercised for a month, I might have had that odd one hot flash, and when I'm exercising, I don't get any.
Doctor, one of the things that I've personally experienced is I just cannot really drink. I mean, everything heats up my system. Is it connected to perimenopause or menopause?
Yes, so the reason why you're having hot flashes, when you're having hot flashes, the disturbance in the hormones, increases the temperature, and you start suddenly having a wave of heat. Alcohol, hot drinks, caffeine, everything kind of contributes toward it. So I would recommend having a chilled wine or chilled beer when you are having those hot flashes.
Okay.
So let not hot flashes deter you from an evening of happiness.
Oh, great. You're my favorite gynec. Thank you. So, Dr. Cecil, a lot of women complain about not being able to sleep. What is your advice on that?
It's very real, and a lot of women experience that, but they can only tackle it by understanding menopause and with a few tips, like, do not have caffeine drinks near your bedtime or, post dinner. Do not have extremely heavy dinner just before your bedtime. Ditch the, backlit uh, phones and LEDs and your
Oh,
laptops.
yes, yes.
Because the blue light from these mobiles, they stimulate your brain and your brain gets confused. It does not release melatonin. So your natural circadian rhythm is disturbed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Exercise every day to feel tired enough to be able to go to sleep. Create an atmosphere for sleep. Our bedroom is for sleeping, so dim lights, softer music, soft bed sheets.
Wow.
Read a nice book that will help you to sleep. If nothing works, have a hot milk, add a pinch of jaifal to it.
Okay,
That also
helps.
works before jumping on to taking sleeping pills.
Urine leak. I think this is something that women in our age kind of experience. So, would you like to speak about that?
So we have thought that urine leak is a part of growing up, which it isn't. There are two types of urine leaks. One is urge incontinence, where you leak urine when you really want to pee. And the second is stress incontinence, where a few drops or a little more amount leaks when you cough, laugh, or do exercises. Everything is treatable with lifestyle changes, reducing weight, Kegels exercises, which strengthen your pelvic floor muscles, some medications, and in severe cases, there is a simple surgery available to control your incontinence. Your life does not have to revolve around your bladder or wearing a diaper.
Yeah.